Hi everyone. So today we are going to be looking at the idea of softening the body. A lot of my other classes have been focused a bit more on strength and focus. And I think at this time when we need a little bit more support and maybe caring for the body, a little bit more gentleness, it could be quite good to do that. So we're going to be sort of flowing quite a bit, moving between poses, thinking about the breath as always, and hoping to work with softening the body. So that will be our focus for today. So as always, find a nice comfortable position and we'll get started. As always, whichever position helps you focus on relaxing to begin with, whether you need a cushion or a block or have your legs out in front of you, whatever helps you focus and be comfortable. So gently lift your spine nice and tall. Again, before we get started, especially when we're feeling quite tense or maybe rigid in the body, we tend to sort of hold in one way, and we definitely tend to sit quite far forwards because we're a little bit more fetal, and being fetal is much more comfortable. So just to begin with, just notice where you're sitting, because again, even from the beginning, I can sort of feel like I'm sitting quite straight, but I'm leaning my body quite far forwards. So if you find that's happening, what I also recommend is going and leaning against a wall. So then you've really got that position. You can push the lower spine into the ground, into the wall. Draw your belly back and lift the spine and feel completely supported. So if you need to use a wall, then do work with a wall as always. Use what works for you the best. So wherever you are, next to the wall, away from the wall, really think about lifting the spine tall. Think about all that space we want to create in the front and the whole of the torso to create a lot of space so that we can make that breath nice, long and slow. So gently close your eyes and begin to focus on the breath. Begin to think about the theme of today's class, the idea of softening the body. Knowing that whatever movements you make today, they don't need to be, well, they never need to be perfect, they never need to be right, but just so that we're not causing any damage. No pain. Just thinking about how we move doesn't have to be perfect. And again, thinking about working a little deeper with the breath. Really beginning to try and move the body with the breath throughout the class. Observing when we tend to hold or restrain or change the breath. And just noticing and observing. Even if we're not able to change the breath today in the class. Just observing what's going on and when that feels right or wrong for you. And push your sit bones down to the floor, let your legs be heavy, let your spine lift tall, let your arms, shoulders, wrists and fingers be even heavier down towards the floor. Relax your forehead, your jaw, your face, your teeth, your tongue, each and every feature. Soften. Moving that breath around the side of the ribs to the back of the spine. Again, if you have the wall, then it's easier to push the breath against the wall. You can really notice where you are or aren't breathing in and around the ribcage. And as always, focusing on moving that breath deep down to the base of the belly, to the base of the lungs. And on your next exhalation, gently opening your eyes, just letting your neck kind of roll around gently, just noticing any pricks or pain or stiffness. Hopefully not too much pain, but probably some stiffness, as that's where we tend to hold a lot of tension in the neck and the shoulders. Just slowly moving the neck. Really feeling into each and every movement, maybe holding a little longer on one side. Let's see if maybe you need to lift the jaw up and look up to the ceiling. Feel that stretch come in through the jaw again, a connecting breathing muscle, and pulling up the collarbones in the front of the rib cage. Also, tension often comes into the jaw and around the throat if we clench our teeth, so it's good to kind of stretch those areas. So maybe have a little look up to the ceiling on the other side. To release around the fascia, around that protective tissue that holds everything in place. And release, come back to the center. And this time again, roll the shoulders up and round and down. Really starting to open across the chest. Pull those elbows back. And gently release. Inhale, arms high, press the palms together. Exhale, peel the elbows back behind you. Really like you're feeling like someone pulling the chest open in a nice way. That sounds a little horrible. In a nicer way than pulling open the chest. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, peel those elbows back as far as you can. Inhale up. Exhale. 2 more times. Inhale up. Exhale. Last time. Exhale, gently release. Press your hands onto your knees and just roll over to one side, pressing the pelvis and knees down. And then roll forwards nice and slowly, feeling that stretch come through the pelvis. Now we've just done a little bit of work on the shoulders. We'll feel the effect on the hips. So drawing nice big circles, really move nice and slow. And go in reverse. We'll do 3 times this way, really slowly. Feeling that stretch come through the pelvis, through the side body, engaging through the abdominals. One last time. Dropping as deep, as much as you feel comfortable. And we'll go to the other side. Gently rolling through, maybe starting a little deeper. Keep those shoulders away from the ears. Feel that nice effect on the pelvis, on the legs, on the abdominals, on the spine. Totally lost count. I think this is the 3rd one. So gently rolling, rolling, rolling. Come all the way back to the center. Gently reach your hands out in front of you. Press the palms together. So as you exhale, round the spine like you're pushing the spine into the back of the wall. Tuck your chin to your chest. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. At the same time, I want you to tilt the pelvis. So allow the pelvis to tilt. And then draw forward. So exhale round. Think about the chest and the pelvis. So we're working on the shoulder girdle and the pelvic girdle through this idea of softening. Each repetition will help warm up the joints and start to switch off and release. Enjoy that nice clicking noise wherever that is coming into your joints. And gently release. And give the shoulders a little shake again. And reach the hands wide. So slide as far along as you can, keeping the arms straight if you can. So keep reaching, keep reaching, keep reaching, without the hip and the knee leaning. And then lift up and reach all the way over to one side, turning the chest up to the ceiling. Push that hip and knee back down. And release. Come all the way over, lean, 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 stretching. Keep the arms straight if you can. And then reach the other arm up and over your head. Push that opposite hip and knee back down. Don't let it come with you too much so you're opening as well. And again, gently release. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, twist round to the right. Pressing your hands down, looking over your chest and your shoulders, squeezing from the center out to the edges. Inhale, arms high. Exhale, twist round to the left. Inhale, arms high. And gently release. Slowly come round onto your knees. So gently have the toes touching and the knees really nice and wide as you feel comfortable. And then keep your hips down and slowly walk your chest and your arms down to the floor. Let your head drop down so your forehead is touching, or your chin if that's comfortable for you. Push the sit bones back and breathe here. 5 long, slow breaths. Releasing the pelvis, releasing the shoulders. If you find in this position that your arms are really hugging the head, then take those hands wide to the width of the mat, or even further out if you really feel like there's a lot of tension in the top of your shoulders and neck. So breathe into those areas. 2 more breaths. And exhale. exhale, gently release. Slowly roll your hands up and just prop yourself forwards here. So you're leaning forwards. And then from here, draw the spine. So you're rounding the spine and letting the hips come forwards, open across the chest. So we're just rippling through the spine again. Exhale, rounding the spine and pushing back. Inhale forwards, open the chest, push the feet down. Exhale, round. Inhale, just small movements. It doesn't have to be deep. If you can work deeper, but just think about those little movements and the effect they can often have. Something being stronger. 2 more times. Rounding the spine, pushing the spine back, and exhale, opening the chest. 1 last time. Coming forwards, and then gently release. Slowly bring those hands back and let the hips drop a little. So you're really sitting deep down onto your heels or even down towards the floor. And let the spine lift tall, closing your eyes, arms heavy, chest broadening. 3 breaths here. And really let the hips sink down, let the shoulders release, the pelvis release, the top of the feet begin to stretch, the thighs begin to stretch. 1 last breath. And then exhale, gently release. Slowly coming forwards. Bring those knees together, pressing into your hands. Again, let's ripple the spine a little more. So we're going to turn onto the toes, lift up to a low down dog, so the knees are still bending, and then drop down and lift up into cow. Again, letting the spine drop, and then tuck the tailbone, pull back, lift up to a slightly higher down dog, stretching the spine. Drop the knees down, come forwards, open across the chest to cow. Tuck your tailbone, pull back. So just rippling through that. Again, allowing the knees to stay as bent as you need to. Really allow the tailbone to pull back, lift and lengthen. Keep squeezing through the abdominals, supporting the core, lifting and lengthening. Each time. 2 more times. Last time, and hold here in downward dog. So really push those heels down one at a time and allow the hips to kind of rock completely to the left and the right. So you're really feeling that stretch. Roll through the side of the body. Staying here, 1 more breath. And then exhale, gently release, drop down onto your knees and slowly rolling the body down to the floor. Take a couple of breaths here. Just let the wrists be heavy. Exhale. Slowly come back up onto all fours. Turn onto your toes. Downward dog. Reach your right leg up and draw your right leg in front. Drop your left knee down. Release onto the top of the foot. Press into your left fingertips, left hand, or any wrist issues, press into a fist. Inhale, reach that right arm up to the ceiling and drop the hand down. So you're aiming to touch the thigh or further back if you can. Inhale, lift up and reach forwards. Inhale up, reach back. Exhale, reach forwards. Inhale up. Exhale forwards. Keep moving. So you're lifting and lengthening, you're opening through the chest, warming up the shoulder joint as we also take a nice deep stretch in through the pelvis. 1 more time. And then gently release. Bring your hands down, press into your left hand completely, and if you can, lift the left knee. This might be way too strong, in which case keep the knee down. Wherever you are, then we're going to just hold here with the right arm reaching up. As you exhale, bring the hand underneath and lift up. Bring the hand underneath, wrap. So you're strengthening the core a little here, supporting the center, wrap and lift. Drop. Lift. Each time maybe starting to straighten that front leg a little more. So if you're doing this with the knee down, lift up and pull the hip back. Lift up and pull the hip back. Lift up. Keep moving, just beginning to soften each time. So you're bringing a little bit more space. Lifting up. 1 last time, and release. Bring the hands back, Going back to downward dog. One breath. Inhale, left leg high, and bring your left leg all the way up. Slowly pressing the top of your foot behind you. Press down into your right hand, squeezing your belly. Inhale, lift your left arm up, and open the hand back behind you. Inhale, coming up in front. Exhale again, just making sure the breath is always moving with the body. Don't worry too much, as I have changed the breath as I was talking. Which way round you're doing it for now. Let's just focus on the fact that we're breathing, because if you do too many things at once at the moment, it maybe doesn't work so well. Keep pressing down through your feet, shoulders softening, pelvis releasing. Keep those fingertips active. Pressing down through the feet again and again, and then slowly release. Pressing down through your hands. Again, if you can come up onto the knee, off the knee, come off the knee. If not, stay with the knee down. And again, find what's comfortable for your right hand or your right wrist. Squeezing your torso, pressing down. Again, inhale, lift the left arm up to the ceiling, so coming into a twist. As you exhale, draw the hand under and lift the hips. Inhale up, exhale, lift. Inhale up, exhale, lift. Start to straighten that leg. Again, if the knee's down, lift. And pull back, lift, and pull back, lift, pull back, lift, keep moving with the breath. Keep your shoulders softening again with that knee up, pull the hip back, pressing into your feet, 2 more times. Last time, and release, bring your hands down, and again come back to downward dog. Spreading your fingers, pushing your hips and hands, heels and hands down to the floor, hips nice and high, give the head a shake. Squeeze your belly to your spine. And then inhale, right leg high, bring your right leg in front, release your left leg down, squeezing your torso. Inhale, reach the arms up. And again, exhale, hands down to the floor. If that's enough, stay with this. Or inhale, lift up, reach a little further back. And then start to pull the hips back. Again, that might be a little bit, it might be a tiny bit, it might be all the way. Inhale up, pelvis drops down. Exhale, pelvis comes back. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Press down through the feet, lift and let go. Inhale, keep moving. And let's do this last one. And soften. Press down through your hands, come back to downward dog. Left leg high. Left leg all the way in front, dropping your right knee down, pressing into your feet. Drawing your belly back, letting the hips drop. Inhale, lifting your arms high. Exhale, maybe start with just the hands down to the floor. Inhale, open back. Exhale, maybe start to straighten the leg a little. Drop the pelvis forward, open across the chest. Exhale, come forwards, and again, maybe straighten that leg a little more. Keep the spine engaged, keep the spine lifting, open across the chest. Maybe start to straighten even deeper, working within your limits. Feel that length coming in through the spine, in through the pelvis, in through the shoulders. Squeezing your belly gently to support the lower spine. 2 more. Keep moving with the breath, warming the whole body up, warming the joints, and softening those areas that are holding. Now release, hands down, downward dog. 1 breath here. Inhale, right leg high, step your right leg in front. Turning round so you're facing towards me, and bringing the feet so that they're parallel. Gently start to slide over to your left leg and press your right foot down. So this already might be too strong, in which case come up a little higher, up onto the knee. Wherever you are, doesn't matter. So up here, or again, maybe that's way too much still, you might want to keep yourself all the way up. If you can go further, we can drop all the way down to support ourselves onto the floor. If that's pulling your ankle off, you've got your leg way too wide, so push the outer edge of the ankle away. So squeezing through the abdominals. Lifting tall here. One more breath. Exhale, lift up, slide the hips and come over to the other side. Again, decide this might be way too deep. I'm going to come up a little higher, all the way to the center, but just bending the knee gently so it's coming in line with your ankle. Being careful with the joints. Again, pulling the outer edge of the ankle away. Again, on this side, my heel tends to lift up. If that happens, don't worry. If you can push it down, then work with the heel down. Working with what feels right for you. Keep lifting through the spine, opening through the inner thighs. One last breath with the feet in contact. And then lift up, slide into the other side. This time, pull the toes up towards the ceiling, lifting all the way up. Leaning here. Again, you can do this up here. You just turn the foot round, a little bit difficult with the balance, but support yourself by squeezing in through the center. Wherever you are, really have those toes lifting up. Take one last breath. And again, press those feet round, swing over to the other side, and turning those toes up. Again, come up higher if you need to, whatever works for you. Keep flexing the toes, drawing up through the inner thighs, squeezing the pelvic floor, opening your chest. Still thinking about the whole of your body. And then gently swing round back to the center. Press your hands down or fingertips wherever you are, and let the head just hang down to the floor. Shoulders away from the ears. Swinging here. Now gently just rolling from right to left, starting to bend into the knees a little more. Just sweeping along the floor. Beginning to drop a little lower. If you need to bring the legs a little closer, come a little closer. Starting to stay really low in that squat. So if you need to, you can just be up here, still sweeping, or again up here, whatever works. If it starts to feel too much for your hips or your spine, and then gently come all the way over to the left side. Drop down, flex your toes, lift up. Bring your left hand in front of your leg so you're opening, and lift here. If it's comfortable, take your arm up to the ceiling. One more breath. From here, come all the way back to the front, and then turn the feet round. You're going to turn the feet all the way around. So this right foot's flipping round, as well as the left foot coming back, and we're lifting up and opening through the pelvis. Then we're going to drop the hands down towards the hips, and lift up, and come back to the front. So I'll show you that again. So coming from the left side, we're going to turn the feet so they're coming back to the front of the mat. You're going to roll onto the left side of your left foot, the right side of your right foot, and the pelvis is going to face behind you, looking up to the ceiling. Drop the hand down, drop the hip down, lift up, swing all the way back. Come back, drop down into your pelvis, and lift the foot. Moving with the breath, sweeping to the right, turning the feet all the way onto the outer edge of the left foot, the outer edge of the right foot, and lift up. Drop down, lift up, come back. Slowly sweeping back to the center. Give the hips a little shake. Let's come all the way up because that's quite intense for the hips. Bring your hands onto your hips. Just give them a shake and then press the feet down. So you're dropping down into a low squat. One breath and straighten. Give the hips a shake. Drop down and straighten. Give them a shake. One more time. Drop down and release. Give the hips a shake. So this time we'll go to the other side. So again, pressing down through your feet, sliding over to the right side. Flexing, I've gone Australian. Flexing the feet up so the toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Squeezing your abdominals and then pressing into your feet. Slide all the way over to the left side. So you're turning to the other side of your mat. Squeezing your abdominals. Pressing down through your feet. Turn onto the outer edge. So you're twisting the right hip down. You're turning onto the outer edge of your right foot, the outer edge of your left foot, and then lifting your arm up. Exhale, drop your right hip down, reach your hands back. Strong twist for the hips, lift up. Come back to the front, swivel those feet all the way around. Drop down to the right side of your foot and the right side of your hip. Lift your hands up, shoulders open. Come all the way back, lift up, sweep those hands to the front. Turn around with the feet onto the outer edge of the foot. Press into your right hand, outer edge of the left foot. Lift your arm up. Drop your pelvis and arm down. Lift up, come all the way back, and sweeping back to the center. Releasing, dropping your hands down, and slowly pressing into your hands. Slowly walk those feet all the way into the center. Letting the head hang, and again, just swing round from right to left. Shaking off the pelvis, bending the knees as much as you need to. And then slowly coming back to the center, rolling round from right to left, lifting all the way up, and releasing, hands down by your side, closing your eyes. One last breath. Inhale, open your eyes, reach your hand up and lift them back. Exhale, folding all the way down. Inhale, lift up, reach back. Exhale, folding. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, folding all the way down. Last time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, folding all the way down. Pressing into your hands. Slowly walk the feet back to downward dog. And exhale, drop the knees down, nice and wide, toes wide as well. And then slowly let the forehead rest, bring the arms behind or out in front, whatever's comfortable, and relax here. Let the pelvis drop, so really allow everything to release down. One more breath. Exhale. Lifting the spine all the way up. If it's more comfortable, come into a lying position. If not, we'll finish with a nice comfortable sitting position. So we'll finish how we started. If you want to use the wall again to feel supported, use the wall. Lift the spine tall. Release the pelvis, release the knees. Have the legs outstretched if you need to. Opening across the chest. Let the arms rest heavy and close your eyes. And just feeling into that little bit of work we've done in this session. Listening to your breath, listening to the movement. Beginning to focus on using your exhalation to really relax any overworking, any holding. Take one more breath in. Keeping your eyes closed. Focusing deep inside the body. As always, you're welcome to stay here as long as you like. So if you need to pause, then let the video pause and stay here for another 5 or 10 minutes. And if not, we'll close the session with 3 breaths. Counting your inhalation, exhaling for the same count. Feeling into the length, strength and softness we brought into the mind, body and breath. Thank you very much for joining me again. Beginning to feel like these 30-minute sessions are flying by a little quickly, so soon I'll be introducing some hour-long classes as well. Yeah, hope you enjoyed. As always, have a great rest of